Okay, so I wanted to get back to you about doing an evaluation here, and I'm just doing a basic search on Chestermere, and looking at the map. I just want to do Kinneberg down in this area, and I'm looking in the last 6 months. So, and I want to see properties that are 2,400 to 3,000 square feet that were built between 2009 2019 that sold in the last 180 days. So that's what we've got here. We've got 7 houses that have sold. And let's start with the bottom of the barrel here. We've got one here built in 2012. It was listed at $599. It sold for $570. It was 2,674 square feet. So a very similar house as far as even the age of the house, because the listing that you're looking at is built in 2012. And now let's look at the quality and the finishings on this one here. It's got the gray colors. It's got the lighter floor. It doesn't have the open to below the vault as the one you're looking at. So the vault makes it a special house because if it's that big, it actually has a bigger footprint, meaning the basement would be quite large. This one also, at 570, sold with an unfinished basement. So similar time period, and maybe doesn't have some of the design features that the open to below has, open to below offers. Now this one, of course, but it's got a triple car garage, right? And the listing that you're looking at has just a double garage. So that is a factor too. So that has a triple. Now let's move up here a little bit. Now, or maybe we'll back up here. I want to look at the history on this one. So this one here was really sold. That land was sold for 160. They paid 572 in 2012, and then they sold it again for 570. So they didn't get any money out of that one in the 6 years of owning it. They actually lost on the commissions. So on that one. Now we look at this one here on Kinneberg Road. It was 2,500 square feet, unfinished basement again at 570. This looks brand new, 2016. So it's a brand new house. So, you know, one of the things that the buyer has the opportunity in this community to buy brand new for the same price that they would buy a 6-year-old home. So you can understand what goes through the buyer's mind. Why would I buy pre-owned when I can get brand new from the builder? And that's everything new. So this is 570, and that was 2,500 square feet with an unfinished basement. Now here's a car with here's one with a triple garage built in 2018, 2,900 square feet, and they sold for 600. This unfinished basement. Now, keeping in mind too, when you look at a house that has a triple car garage, we're also talking about the land. The land is actually wider. The lot has to be wider to accommodate a triple car garage, usually speaking. So this is 15.46, maybe not too big now. The lot frontage is 15, so it's about the same, but a little bit bigger. This is just a little bit bigger, accommodating a triple car garage. And let's look at another brand new house, of course, with all the latest finishings and the colors and everything. Not that they've changed so much in the last 6 years. They haven't. There's some new colors that are coming in, but this doesn't have that open to below space that you might find in some houses. But this has got 4 bedrooms up, and of course it did sell brand new for 600. So this one here on Sandpiper, okay, now this is a walkout, unfinished walkout. It's 2,600 square feet, 2,700 feet as well, and it sold for 649. It was on the market for 294 days. That last one here was 18 days on market as a new listing, and this one here was 147 days on market for that one. So this one got 675, 2,800 square feet of a fully finished basement, built in 2016. This is their your living area. Really a nice open plan here. Big nice kitchen in it. Now was this one? This one was 700. And then they got 675 for it, 2,800 square feet. But the finished basement. Now, keeping something in mind, the finished basement is worth about $40,000 to $45,000 if it's done. That's what it's going to cost you to do it if you get an unfinished basement. And that's why we see so many of them not finished. This one's got nice open to blow feature here too. It's got a vaulted main living area. And I'm sure the sellers are wondering why they can't get their $650,000 out of this house, being that it has that open to below vaulted space in the main living area. This is what they call a spice kitchen. So it actually had that as well. That would have probably added another $10,000 to the price. Another triple car garage at 725. So now we've gone way up in that square footage range. So the thing is, as you probably realize by this example, what's the difference between a house that is 2,700 square feet, one selling for close to 7, and one selling for close to where this one's at? And it's going to be likely in finishing quality. This wasn't a walkout, and this one sold for 710. And it was 2,800 square feet. That's not a lot bigger than the listing that you're looking at, which is 2,700 feet. So what we have to look at is really just what the finishing is going to tell us, and the layout and the plan, and that's something I probably can't estimate until I go see the property. Okay, so when I was there, I noticed that they had a TV on up above the fireplace. And this TV was a pretty nice big TV, and it looks like it just fits perfect there. It might be something, if you're interested in the property, that you might want to consider writing into an offer. Now, when I look at the oven itself is one of the higher end. When I touched it, everything lit up, so it's got an LCD screen on it. That's a better quality product there than you'd usually find. Now, when you go into the kitchen, though, one thing I noticed is the upper cabinets, and I noticed that they had these kind of spice cabinets there, but the cabinets on above that were so high that the average person wouldn't use those cabinets to put their dishes in there. When you look around and you look for upper cabinet space for your dishes, your plates and your bowls and stuff like that, you're down to the floor. I looked all through the cabinets to find out where they put their dishes, and they put their dishes in the bottom. Now, if that's fine with you, that's certainly okay. But something to keep in mind is that you wonder why maybe it's not selling. That could be a reason. So because the buyer sees that there's not a proper cabinet space. I also found that when I was going up the stairs that there's a really creaky step there. That doesn't mean it's falling apart, but it does mean that it was glued together quite correctly, so it's moving within its its framework. So it's not going to fall apart, but it certainly makes a lot of noise, and I'm sure just about every buyer that walks through that house notices it. Now, when I went to the garage, one of the key critical things I found in the garage was that the garage stairs to go down to the garage from the house take up so much room that you're actually going to have to deal with a larger truck, like a full-size truck, will not fit in that garage. The garage is very tiny for that house. And lastly, the thing that concerns me the most is that the rezoning across the street. It looks like they're probably going to put more multifamily in there, like the condominiums that are, or the townhomes that are down to the left. So there's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot busier. And then, of course, when I looked out back at the backyard, I found that that the backyard is really quite small for that area. So there's not a lot left in the back. So all in all, when you consider some of the new builds that are around, and new builds going for around 600,000 for a triple front garage and similar square footage. Granted, it doesn't have the design features that these other houses don't have the design features that this does with its grand open plan. But they do have bonus rooms. Like it doesn't have much of a bonus room, this house, and a lot of people want that. And as you say, I mean, if you don't have the bonus room, then you're going to be very interested in how the basement's going to be. And all the vents for the basement were all in the ceiling for the heater, which is they didn't bring them even down the wall to put them lower, to put the heat down low where you want it, because the heat always rises. So there's no floor vents or even no vents down the wall even. So they put all the vents in the ceiling, which can make the basement a little bit colder. And so just so it's going to be, if you're going to removing the floor and putting new stuff in, it still may be kind of chilly down there. So when I see new homes at 600 without the basement finishing, and some of them even have basement finishing, that means that it looks to me like some of these factors are what's causing the home difficulties to sell, because of new product that's always coming up and available. So a proper price would be somewhere around the 570 mark. Is probably closer to the right price to sell at. Now that the question is can they actually afford to do that? That's another item entirely.